Hello, this is Michelle with the Glimmers of Intuition. I just wanted to remind you that if you think that it can't happen for you, then you're right. And if you think that it can happen for you, you're right. And I'm going to tell you why. I was told that I would never have children. I have an endocrine problem. I had Graves' disease, and it's an overactive thyroid. And so then my thyroid was killed by what's called radioactive iodine back in like my 20s. So when I was wanting to have children, it was in my 30s. And I remember like just listening to that and being like, no, I won't be able to have kids. Don't get me wrong. I went to like they call it reproductive medicine, and I had to go to a special doctor, and I did that. And I wasn't really like, when you have a thyroid condition, you have to go to a doctor called an endocrinologist. And I remember I talked with her, and she's like, you can. She's like, you just need to lose 20 pounds. And we did, I did the old fashioned way. And I had smoked the year before. I had quit smoking. So I was kind of preparing my body for it. And then so I still made the appointment with the reproductive group because my doctor at the time, my OB, was like, because I wasn't conceiving. So they had recommended that. So anyway, my reproductive appointment was in January. And then I found out I was pregnant in December. So I didn't have to go to that appointment. My endocrinologist, though, that helped me kind of, go through like my metabolic profile and all that, the insurance in this state, what do you call it for doctors, the malpractice insurance, she couldn't afford it anymore because she was practicing by herself. So she was leaving and going up north. And I remember I was so like, no, you can't leave. I just got pregnant. She's like, no, any endocrinologist can follow you while you're pregnant. And long story short, even though I was, 34, they were, kind of, the first thing they tell you is, you can be considered high risk because you're older, blah, blah, blah. Not only was I not high risk, not only did I have my daughter she didn't want to come out, but that's normal for for first time babies. She was healthy. She was over 8 pounds. And not only that, I had a second child, and again, wasn't high risk, was definitely a surprise at first, but I was grateful. But my point with this story is that this was before I kind of was into mindset and law of assumption and had gotten into all that. And looking back, what led me to those events was my mindset. And now, I started reading books kind of more geared towards like mindset. I started following, I remember Bob Proctor, Napoleon's Think and Grow Rich was a real big, that's one book I recommend everybody should read. Like, you don't have to read books, but for me, that was like, and then just following certain, like Joseph Murphy, and then The Power of Awareness by Neville Goddard. When I started realizing that you can set the intention, another story I'm going to tell you. I went through my divorce in 2018, and then we started having the pandemic, the end of 2019, end of 2020. I was working from home. And I remember I needed, like my insurance, they weren't going to renew me because my roof was older on my home. And I remember I was like, oh my gosh, where am I going to get like $10,000 for my roof to get redone? And I just remember like having this internal dialogue with myself, like, I don't know how this is going to pan out, but I do know it's going to pan out and it's going to work in my favor. And I didn't like affirm I just decided, and that was it. And wouldn't you know, there was a company and I got a really great interest rate and I got a new roof put on my home. So my point here is that I think with mindset, or if we're told no, we think that's the final say. And I'm here to tell you that's not the case. It's, you know, you don't have to know everything, but something else I tell myself is God supplies all my needs, and it always works out. And I have this grit about myself that I may sit a little uncomfortable, and that's okay, because I know that what I'm creating or what I'm doing is bigger than this obstacle or what appears to be this obstacle in my way. So I just wanted to share that, and just remember that you are always right, but you also can be new at any time. Like, you can be new in this moment, and you can decide, like, whatever's coming up, like you need a certain amount of money, or you know, something's going on in a friendship, relationship, whatever the case may be. Nothing is bigger than you. You know, you have everything you need inside of you. You just need to have the awareness on it, and it brings it to light every time. So till next time, take care.